Trails and Tributaries Part 9. Written by the Furry Sith Lord. Pictures by Tauronium. Striped Warrior forced the group to move even though they were tired from the running and tree climbing. At one point, Striped Warrior lightly punched Doxy in the arm because of the teasing Doxy was giving him the whole time they walked. "What's the scout motto? Always be ready and prepared," Doxy mocked. "Doesn't even know he had a magic bottle of honey on him," Doxy said, laughing. "Will you give it a rest already?" Striped Warrior asked in annoyance. The Yote brothers remained silent as they walked. Hawk Eyes held little Yipper as he continued to silently cry. Although he loved his brother, he was getting tired of his brother acting like a cub. They had a task given to them by the Great Red Yote, and he needed his brother to stay focused and stop whining. Did his brother not realize that Red Yote would use his magic to restore his voice once they brought the cursed object back? They would be heroes, and the tribe would no longer see his brother as being a deformed wannabe warrior. Hawk Eyes thought back to the day of the bear attack. They were out with their trainer learning the ways of being a warrior. Their trainer was a Yote named Burr, which was a small round plant that had sharp edges to it like a cactus. He was tough on them, but he was patient in teaching them, even though the two of them had earned the reputations as being too headstrong to be taught. "Listen up, you sorry sacks of cub meat. You both need to learn how to defend yourselves with your spears." I realized Bo Boy, which was what they had called Hawk Eyes back then because he showed he had amazing eyesight and aim. Hawk Eyes was his warrior name that he earned when he became a full-fledged warrior. That he's good with a bow, but when an enemy gets close, that bow will be meaningless, Burr said. "If they even manage to get that close," Whiner said. Whiner was the name they called Little Yipper back then. It was said that he had a very attractive voice when he could talk. When he yipped, which happened every time he laughed, the girls would come being attracted by the sound. They called him Whiner because some were jealous that the females loved his voice and that he yipped a lot since it attracted their attention. This was done by the other males out of jealousy towards him. Because the bear had stolen his voice, when he became a warrior, they mocked him by calling him Little Yipper. He, technically, was now a real warrior, but it was an honorary title allotted to him. He was seen as being deformed and never able to be a real warrior. "Exactly," Bo Boy said as he and Whiner slapped paws. Burr cleared his throat and both instantly became silent. Although Burr was a good teacher, he did not allow disrespect. He would get a switch and whip both their backsides if they misbehaved. "Bo Boy, show me what you can do," Burr said as he took up his spear and held it ready to defend himself. Bo Boy carefully placed his bow and quiver on the ground and fetched a spear. He stood before Burr and readied himself. "Come on, bro. You can do it. Yip 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 you. Yip 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 you." Whiner yipped at his brother. A couple of females stepped out from the foliage and began to flirt with Whiner. Bo Boy shook his head as his little brother was no longer watching him. He was glad in a way because as he saw Burr towering over him, he swallowed hard and knew the full-grown Yote would give him a good beating for the lesson. "So then Sky Cloud called me a cheater. I mean me? A cheater? We weren't even dating, so I dunno what she was talking about," Whiner said, and the girls giggled. Bo Boy heard this and frowned as Burr used his spear to slap his backside and knock him on the ground. He was breathing heavily, and he turned to see his brother too busy flirting to care or even try to help him. "Yip yip yip you. Yip 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 you." Whiner yipped as the girls laughed even more. Bo Boy struggled to get on his feet. "Arr!" came the roar of a bear as it ran into the clearing. The bear knocked Whiner down and scratched at him as Whiner lay there helpless. Burr charged at the bear and stabbed it, but not before the bear had bitten Whiner's throat. Whiner passed out and blood flowed everywhere. The girls ran off as the bear used a swipe from his mighty paw to break the spear that stuck into him. Burr backed up as he held the broken spear, and the bear bared his teeth in anger at Burr. Bo Boy spun and crawled over to his bow as he took aim and fired an arrow at the bear. His lungs burned, but he did not care. Distracting the bear so that Burr could get a better stance to attack was all that he cared about. That and his brother as he was bleeding to death nearby. The bear decided he had enough and he lumbered off, and both Burr and Bo Boy rushed to Whiner to see if they could do anything. "He's still breathing. You stay with him while I'll get Black Bone and his new apprentice Red Yote." Burr said as he ran to get the medicine fur and his acolyte. Bo Boy held his brother's paw as he looked at him weakly. He tried to say something but no words came out. This is a good place to stop and set up a campfire so I can cook us breakfast, Striped Warrior said. He and Doxy were putting down their backpacks as Hawkeye's whispered to his brother, "Yip yip yip you, little brother." Hawkeyes said, and little Yipper tried to smile at him. This ends part 9. We hope you enjoyed it. See you next time for part 10.